Well, thanks, guys, so much. I'm with Jackson and Annette, the Larsons from La Crosse. Hi, Annette.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us today. You guys already had some lunch from Pickerman's. That was really good, wasn't it?
Yes, it was very good.
So that's one meal off the list today.
Yes.
Yeah, that's good. Jackson, hi, buddy. Pick up that mic. How are you doing?
Hi.
13 years old.
Yep.
Okay. And a student at Longfellow.
Yep.
Can you believe I remembered that from last year? That was pretty impressive. Yeah. Jackson, is it okay if we ask Mom and start out with your story? Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Annette, how does the Jackson story start?
Well, when Jackson was born, we had no idea he had anything wrong with him. He started getting sick when he was about 9 months old. It was just different things like he'd get everything from strep throat. He had pneumonia monthly, just different things that he would get that we'd have to go in for constantly. It wasn't until he was about 4 when he was diagnosed with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome.
Had you ever heard that?
I'd never
before?
heard of Ehlers-Danlos syndrome ever. So we had gotten, it was Dr. Yadley from Gunderson that actually diagnosed him in genetics. She told us that that's what he had, and then we were told that there was a lot of different types. He had one of 2 types, is what she had told us. They had to test it. They had to send it out. It was about a month we had to wait for the results.
How was that month?
It was very hard because one of the types, we're not sure he would have been here. The other type was the classical type, which it ended up being, and that's manageable, workable. So we were very fortunate that that's the type he had.
Now,
when it-
Jackson is your second child,
Yes.
and had you been through anything at all with illnesses with his sister?
No, she had the basic stuff.
Yep.
You know,
Yep, but nothing
the
like.
kids get
Okay.
nothing like he had. No.
Okay. So then what happened?
Then we just started our journey with everything we had to do. He had to go see Dr. Winterstein. She had done, so now he wears braces on his legs.
He showed me his new braces. Roll up your pant leg. Let's see that new brace. So you picked out that color. Wow, Jackson, that's a nice color. Okay, so he wears the braces all the time.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for showing us.
He doesn't have to sleep with them, but yeah.
But during the day?
Yeah, he wears them all the time.
Okay.
And then he had to get finger splints that are on his fingers so his
Hold up
fingers
your-
don't bend back.
Hold up your hand so we can see.
Fingers. Turn
See
around.
it and turn around. So those stay on all the time.
Yes.
On every finger on both hands.
Yes.
Okay.
And then we found out that, with Ehlers-Danlos syndrome comes other things. It can affect the heart. It's the connective tissue disorder in the body, so any connective tissue disorder can be affected.
What did that feel like? Just waiting to see what was going to be affected. I mean,
It was hard.
Yeah.
Waiting for anything, I think, is hard when it comes to medical. You get through it. You do what you have to do, and then you move on each day. You just take day by day, appointment by appointment. And he does see a lot of doctors here at Gunderson.
how was it when Jackson started in the school system?
He started at 3 years old in the early childhood program at Southern Bluffs. The teachers there, I have to say, are amazing. He had an amazing team up through 5th grade when he left there to go to middle school. He had an IEP, so he had PT, OT, speech, adaptive PE, all that type of stuff, and he had just an amazing team there.
How did you feel when he was making the transition from what seemed to be a great community starting point and moving to middle school?
I was a mess.
I wondered.
It was very hard transition. They made it very easy. We had an IEP with them, and they brought in the middle school IEP teachers. We all met together. We all transitioned him together, and it went very well. And he now has a good IEP team at the middle school now.
And Jackson, you and I were having a little talk. Pick your mic back up because I'm going to ask you another question. We were having a little talk while you were having a sandwich, and I was asking you about some of the hobbies that you have, and you were telling me about something you do at Green Island. What is that?
Sled hockey.
Sled hockey. Do you know that's the second time this weekend that we've heard about sled hockey? What doctor introduced you to that?
Dr. Winterstein.
Isn't that something? So my question, Annette, Mom, my question was, where do you keep the sled? I mean, they all have to be fitted, don't they? How does that work?
They actually keep the sleds and the sticks at the Green Island Arena. They keep those underneath the bleacher things at Green Island Arena. The other equipment that they have to wear all comes home in a bag with Jackson.
Jackson, how do you do it? Do you crawl into the sled? Do you sit? Do you stand? What do you do?
Sit in the sled.
Okay. How do you move around?
We use sticks.
Okay. Okay. So with your arms. Okay. So is there a puck? What do you do? Tell me about it.
There's a puck,
Yeah.
and we move around, and we have to try to hit the puck with the sticks.
Okay. So you're using it to propel yourself to move, and
Yeah.
you're also using them to get it into the net, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So, there's other Children's Miracle Network hospital kids that do that too. Annette, you must have known one of his teammates, that there's one of the kids that was here the other day. I think we decided we knew that
Yes.
maybe he was on his team.
Yes. Addison from Iowa.
Addison.
believe
Oh,
was
Addison's
here
on
on
great.
Friday. Yeah.
So Dr. Winterstein came up with this brainchild,
Yep.
and it's just amazing because you guys, everyone that I've talked to seems to love it. So it's really good for you. He's active. He's an active kid.
He's very active.
Does that scare you?
It's not too bad. He does bruise very easily, so we got to, keep an eye on that. There's certain things he can't do with his, like he can't do any hanging off anything with his arms. The jumping has to be minimal, but otherwise he's very active and, does a lot of the normal things other kids do.
Is he on some medications?
Yeah, he does take some different meds. He does have asthma, so he is on a medication for that that he takes daily, and then he has a backup when he gets sick.
Has he ever had an asthma attack?
Yes. Yes.
Scary.
Yeah, it is. We had a nebulizer, especially when he was little. We used the nebulizer a lot, which is a breathing treatment that we would use at home when he got really bad.
So some of these complications and illnesses, is it all part of the genetic disease?
Some of the illnesses can be from the genetic disease, but not necessarily.
So you learn as you go.
Yeah, they think a lot of the pneumonias and stuff that he had when he was little was from his acid reflux. They had thought that he was refluxing into the lungs possibly, and that's what was causing
Something
that.
I had never heard of. You probably never heard of it.
Yeah, I'd heard of acid reflux, but
Right,
not that it
right.
could cause pneumonia.
Speaking of hearing of things, have you ever, before Jackson came down with his complications, had you heard of the Children's Miracle Network hospitals before?
I had heard of Children's Miracle Network before.
Okay.
Other people that I had known had used it, and so we had heard of it.
How did they find you?
Children's Miracle Network?
Yeah. How did they find you guys?
I want to say he was in the hospital when he was 2, and they had actually come in and talked to us. They had given us meal vouchers, and that's how that had started. And then from there, we were told, if he needed things, whatever, they would do, you do applications for and then they would provide. He actually had just gotten last year he got a bike. It was fitted for him through Ambucks.
I have a picture of it.
Yes, and Children's Miracle Network helped pay for that bike.
Because this is probably not the typical bike that you can go pick up.
No, that's especially fitted for him, sized for him. It's good for his muscles and joints. A regular bike eventually would be hard for him to ride because of the strain on how you sit. So this bike is more of a bike that you can sit back on and.
We all have limitations with our budget. Would you be able to have afforded this specialized equipment without the help?
Probably not. Probably not.
Yeah. And it's amazing, the families that we do talk to, there is more ways the Children's Miracle Network hospitals have helped these families. One of the moms before you, their little guy likes to run around. They're helping him install a fence in their backyard. I mean, it's amazing. We've been doing this for years, and every single year we hear of a new way that they've been able to help out, and it's astounding. 781-1477. We already have 8 calls. We haven't even asked for calls yet. Oh my gosh. Jackson, you have a smile from ear to ear. You feeling good about that? All right, nice job. 781-1477. You have some books next to you. Where are you going next?
Library.
To the La Crosse Library, the big one downtown?
Yeah.
Okay. You're a reader?
Yeah.
Okay. So you go on Saturdays. Do you stock up for the week?
Yep.
Okay. Mom, you pretty happy that he's a reader? He's going to learn a lot.
Yes, he loves to read.
Yeah. So do they know you at the library when you come in?
Yes.
Oh, good. do you have your own special table? Or do you sit and read, or do you just go select your books for the week? What do you do?
Just go select my books and just leave.
So what's your favorite area that you go to right away for your books?
Children's room.
Oh, to the children's room. Okay. Yeah, well, it's a beautiful library. It's good you're taking advantage of it. That's a good thing. 781-1477. Making calls for Jackson. There's another one. There is another call coming in. We're feeling really good about that. You know, telling his beginning of his journey is hard on you, isn't it?
Yeah, it is hard. It was very hard in the beginning.
How did things change in your house in the beginning?
It was a lot of having to miss work. You know, letting my boss know this is what he has, and there's going to be some changes probably, and things we have to do, appointments we have to do. So that changed quite a bit of stuff. And going to the clinic a lot more.
If you had to give me a pretty close number of how many appointments you have in a month now, with Jackson being 13, how many times do you think you have to come in a month?
Probably in a month. We not necessarily have to come monthly. It's more the doctors that he sees now, it's more every 4 to 6 months that he has to see. When he was younger with the illnesses, we were probably in here once to twice a month.
Yeah,
When
that's
he was
a lot.
2, 3, yeah. And after that, once we got all the testing done and the couple hospital stays he had to do, things like that, and all the illnesses he went through with his, he had rotavirus when he was little.
You know, when we were talking, we were listing all the physicians, doctors, specialists that help you out, and we couldn't remember them all.
Yeah.
You know, and that's saying a lot. That
Got a
you
lot of
know,
departments.
yeah, absolutely. So, Jackson, I got a question for you.
What?
Somebody is sitting at home right now or at work and saying, you know what, I'd really like to help Jackson and other kids out, and I should make a call. Do you think that would be a good idea if they did that?
Yeah.
You've gotten a lot of help from them, haven't you?
Yeah.
And there's other kids that need that too.
Yep.
Okay, that's good. That's exactly what we wanted. 781-1477, 1-800-853-6889. I know the phones are over there ringing. We're getting some very special phone calls coming in. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to just let those phone calls come in. We'll be here till 3 o'clock. We're going to let you go to the library, okay? Jackson, every year it's so fun to see you. Annette, thanks for bringing them in.
Thanks for having us.
Well, you know what? You're giving back by telling your story. By telling your stories.
To help any way we can. So.
And you're doing it. Jackson, you're a good man. Have a
Yep.
good afternoon.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll see you soon, okay? All right. You're listening to the Children's Miracle Network Radiothon, a service of the La Crosse Radio Group.